From the blind eternities to your favorite local game store, welcome to Planeswalker Radio, your ultimate source for all things Magic the Gathering. Whether you're slinging spells at Friday Night Magic, brewing the perfect deck, or just diving into the lore of the multiverse, we've got you covered. Join us as we explore the latest set releases, wild deck techs, and the stories behind the cards we love. So grab your deck, shuffle up, and get ready to ignite your spark, because this is Planeswalker Radio. Here at Planeswalker Radio, we love turning cardboard sideways and slinging spells, and it's important to us that the place we choose to do that is fun, relaxed, and professional. That's why we choose to buy our cards and accessories at First Player. Their showroom staff in Calgary, Alberta are some of the best in the business with decades of experience. They're always able to help us and members of the community find exactly the correct cards to add to our latest decks. Don't live in Calgary, Alberta? Not to worry, they ship Canada-wide. Check out their website at firstplayer.ca for Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Lorcana, and the accessories to protect your cards. First Player, the heart of the gaming community in the heart of Calgary, Alberta. Find their website linked in the description below. Don't go anywhere, the show is about to begin.
What's up, nerds? Welcome to another episode of Planeswalker Radio. Today, we get to talk about Spider-Man.
Yeah, this is, I think, at very least since the Commander bans that happened a while ago now, this is probably the most controversial thing that's happened in a while.
Yeah, there's a lot of mixed feelings.
Yeah.
I think John and I are on the same side of those feelings, to
Yep,
be
very
honest.
much so.
Um, you know, the, it's a cool looking set. There's some cool looking cards, but did it really need to happen? And also, if it did need to happen, could it not have been maybe a little bit bigger?
Yeah. Is there,
um, yeah,
I mean, Spider-Man on his own probably didn't need his own set,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I understand this is milking the proverbial cow
Oh,
here, but
absolutely.
like,
The number of people who walk around with Spider-Man stuff and Spider-Man is their favorite hero, I get it. I
yeah.
do understand. Spider-Man is everyone's favorite hero. Don't I don't fully understand it myself, but it's true. I'm all about Batman.
Yes. Regardless of like I understand all that, regardless of who's the favorite and all that, it's it's a great universe. The
It
storylines are
is.
fantastic. The
Yeah.
characters relatable and all that. There is even with going into the Spider Verse and all that, there is just not enough to support a full Magic set.
Yeah.
As a result, we got a half big set. I
Yeah.
think.
Which is it is what it is. It's going to happen every now and then. You got to do the fan service and potentially that's not fan service for some people, but we're going to talk about it anyway
Yeah,
because it is the newest release.
it's what's coming out, so we gotta talk about it.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
We do have a lot of the community buzzing about this as well, though. There's a lot of people who are ecstatic about it.
Yeah,
A lot of support for cards that maybe previously were back runners are maybe going to come forward a little bit with this set. You may
yeah,
have a little bit more of an artifact theme coming with the Doc Ock cards, and spiders are spiders.
yeah.
I mean, they're getting support here.
And there's absolutely and this like 100%. There are good cards coming out of this set,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
There's some where it's like I don't know if this is good per se, but I guess it exists now,
yeah,
right? But there's absolutely good cards coming out of this set, and it's worth talking about a
yeah,
little bit. We're not going to be able to cover all of them here, but we'll cover some of the things that we think are either really fantastic cards
yeah,
or things that are they're going to be fan favorites regardless of how good they are, right? I
yeah.
think some pet cards are going to come out of this set,
Absolutely.
that kind of thing, because there's absolutely the base for it within the fandom there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, from a could be good, could be bad standpoint, let's talk about some of the mechanics that are coming out. I mean, starting with web slinging,
Mm-hmm.
purely fan service on this one, if you ask me.
100%.
So web slinging, just for those of you who don't know, is an alternative cast cost, very similar to like a ninjutsu or things along that line. If you choose to cast a spell for its web slinging cost, you pay the listed cost rather than its mana cost, and return a tapped creature you control to its owner's hand. So I understand what they're going for here.
Mm-hmm.
The whole pull the bad guy out and drop in the hero, right? Like I get it. I find this to be a very niche mechanic.
Very
it's
niche.
very unusual for me to have a tapped creature out on the board when I'm casting another creature spell.
Yeah.
You know, you specifically when you can't cast spells outside of turn phase.
Yeah.
With ninjutsu, you can at least cast that spell in the attack phase.
Yeah.
Right? That's something that's different.
In fact, it requires it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With web slinging, you're in a main phase here, unless you have flash on the table somehow, which could possibly be the way this works the best. But it seems very niche.
Yeah, it really does. I feel like inefficiency is the best way of describing this,
Yeah.
right? You either have to have mechanics out on the table that are tapping creatures so that you mana cheat and web sling things in, which I understand, right? It is a form of mana cheating, and so it has its place.
I
But
understand in a convoke deck you could make this work quite well.
yeah,
Right? Like if you have a deck built around the convoke keyword and you have some web slinging cards in there, I see it. I
yeah,
get it.
yeah,
But I'm not looking for that in a convoke deck.
yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're trying to attack, survive combat, like have something survive, and then swap something out.
Yeah.
And even then, when you're doing that, you're just looking to try and abuse ETBs. It's
Yeah.
an expensive way of doing Blink, an inefficient way of doing ninjutsu.
Yeah.
It just, and then like building into that a whole bunch. As you mentioned before we started talking here, it's not going to get support out
No.
of the set.
No, this set will
Right.
be the one and
Like-
only time you ever see web slinging. We're not going to see it in future Marvel releases. I would be shocked if we did, at least.
I'd be shocked as well.
You know, it's one of those things where we're just never going to see it
Yeah.
again. So you've got maybe 10 cards in this, and it might be more. Don't quote me on that,
Yeah.
but maybe 10 cards in this set that are going to have web slinging, and that's it.
I mean, even if it's 30 cards, 40 cards in the set, it's still, it doesn't feel like it's enough to rationalize an entire mechanic
Yeah.
just for them.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like even if they did this in a way where they did it as ninjutsu and just named it something else,
Yeah.
or found a way to give it that same support, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not unfathomable that, like it happens all the time in the comics where something bad is happening and Spider-Man is there right at the exact right moment,
Yeah.
right? And it's like he pooped out.
If it was a version of flash casting where
Yeah.
it was maybe a little bit more expensive on the web slinging cast than the card cost,
Yeah.
and you could flash cast in that creature for its web slinging cost, I'm on
Yeah.
board with that. That's 100% a money idea. But this seems like they didn't know what to do with it, and they just had to make up a keyword.
And I mean, it could have been like it could have been similar to Warp. You cast it for web slinging, and then it goes into exile, and you hard
Yeah.
cast it after. It could have been you cast it, and then it goes back to your hand, right? There's card abilities that do that.
Yeah.
I feel like this was just, like you said, and
Yeah.
they didn't really know what to do with it, and so they
Yeah.
just threw stuff in
So
there.
like web slinging, that's a cool idea. Let's put it in there.
Yeah, and they didn't.
That's it. That's where
Yeah.
they got to.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. But
Yeah.
you know what? If you want to do it, do it.
Yep.
Um,
Not bashing your likes here,
y-
friends.
Yeah, do you do you.
You do you.
Make the deck about you.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice.
Game
Good point.
over.
That's it, folks.
That's
Good plug.
Moving on, Mayhem is a new ability that allows you to cast a card from your graveyard for an alternate cost if you discarded it that turn. If you cast it this way, you may pay the Mayhem cost rather than the mana cost.
This one I can see working.
It's going to get support
Yeah.
further on down the line.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, you're playing around in the graveyard. It's not attached. Like they gave it to the villains in this set.
Mhm.
Right? I understand why, but it's not necessarily attached like web slinging. Web slinging
Yeah.
is very clearly a Spider-Man thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Mayhem.
You could use it for something else. And
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at Mayhem. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to put a couple Mayhem cards in my
Yeah.
Yarok deck
Yeah.
because I'm self-milling and then playing cards from the graveyard. That just means I get to do that on
Yeah.
the card.
Yeah.
So I can absolutely see this keyword getting play.
Yeah.
And further support down the line.
And
for sure.
and discarding isn't a particularly hard thing to do when you're
No.
trying to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's, I mean, you just intentionally avoid no max hand size and put in a couple draw mechanics in there, and you'll be forced to discard every turn.
Yeah.
At the end of turn, if you have flash, then you could be using it, or you could be doing things like Faithless Looting, draw 2, discard 2.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Like there's
There's a couple cards in here that actually feed into that
Yeah.
Mayhem mechanic that we'll get into a little bit later
Yeah.
on here as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see that one getting play.
I agree.
The last one that we've got coming out with this set is actually a returning keyword, connive. So if you don't know what that is, it's if a creature you control connives, you draw a card, then discard a card. If you discard a non-land card this way, put a 1/1 counter on the creature that connived. So it feeds into the mayhem mechanic, so it's nice that they put it in there for that purpose. Gives you the ability to buff some creatures on a discard, which again, if you're playing a mayhem deck, you now bring that creature back. All of a sudden, hey, congratulations, you're synergizing those two keywords together.
Yeah.
So I do like this one as well.
Yeah.
Fits with the mayhem. Again, I just wish that web slinging in some way fit in with the other keywords that they brought out in this.
Yeah.
I digress.
Yeah. But it is what it is. Those are the new mechanics. I think, I mean, Mayhem was pretty good. Connive was a good one to bring back,
Yep.
right? 2 out of 3. It's not great, but it's not bad.
It's not terrible.
It's not
We've
bad.
seen worse.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
true. We absolutely have.
Absolutely. Moving into some of the cards, we're going to start with the chase card from this set, which is going to be an auto include in every single black deck moving forward.
Yep.
I can never imagine someone saying, "Oh, Soulstone, who cares?"
Yeah.
No, it's not going to happen.
It's not gonna happen. Yeah. In fact, I imagine if the value hasn't already just absolutely gone through the roof, it's going to.
Yeah.
once.
So this is your chase card for the set, boys and girls. So Soulstone. It is an indestructible mana rock for 2 CMC. It's a generic and a black, so you do have to be black specific for this card, which is kind of, if you ask me, the only letdown. But I play a lot of black decks anyway, so
yeah.
Has a couple of different abilities. So the first one is tap to add a black mana.
Mhm.
Pretty standard.
Super simple.
The second one is what makes it the chase card. Now, it is an expensive cast cost. It is 7 mana to do its alternate tap ability. Fortunately, you only have to do it once, though. So, alternate tap ability is exile a creature you control and harness the Soulstone. Once harnessed, its infinite ability is active. So, you do this one time in a game, active for the rest of the game. It's just there.
Yeah.
Its infinite ability is at the beginning of your upkeep, return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. I'm okay paying 7 mana to constantly get recursion.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
That's,
It's high. Don't get me wrong. This is
Yeah.
a mid to late game play,
Oh, yeah.
Unless you've ramped incredibly well. But I'm okay with it.
I agree, right? The thing that I think is nuts about this is it's an indestructible artifact.
Yeah.
Right? Artifacts alone, you have to be very specific when you're removing them.
Yeah.
Right? But then on top of that, indestructible.
Now you have to exile an artifact when most likely, because of the recursion piece, there's other things you want to exile.
Yeah. Right. Like, I think you're almost falling back onto like a farewell or something like that, where it's exiling all artifacts, right?
Yeah.
Because if there even is any, I should have checked. I didn't check it. I'm not sure there's any exiled target artifact. There's gotta be.
There
right?
must be.
Right. Likely it's going to be something like Tuck effects, where it's exile target permanent until its creature leaves or something like that, right? But
I feel like exile target permanent is the only way it's ever gonna be
Yeah.
removed. And again, once you have an exile target permanent in your hand, almost guaranteed there's something else worth, unless it's early game. Almost guaranteed there's something else worth taking off.
I
So,
agree.
very cool card. Love to see an indestructible artifact. Love to see a 2 mana rock. Love to see recursion. Great card.
Yeah. I do mana for a colored, right?
Yeah.
For a black. When you're playing or when you're playing in the colored black.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing like a Wooburg deck or something like that, it's almost, on just the mana rock side, it's almost as good as Arcane Signet. Almost, not quite, but almost.
Yeah.
In a mono black, I think it is as good as an Arcane Signet.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Next, we have the face card. So this is kind of what they use to lead the set in there. It's actually a dual side. We'll go over one side at a time here. So the front side, the casted side, is Peter Parker. It is a 2 CMC, generic and a white, for a 0/1 really long title line. Holy crap. Legendary creature, human scientist hero. Because they can.
Let's cram as many things on there as we can.
Unless I see scientist synergy in this, that was completely unnecessary.
I don't think there's.
Isn't he an Artificer as well? Wouldn't he be more of an Artificer?
side gallery
Yeah.
comment, wouldn't he be more of an artificer? Absolutely.
Oh,
I would think he
yeah.
would. He's basically designing mechanical components to supplement his natural abilities. So
Yeah.
there's
Feels-
more artificers than there are scientists in magic. I don't know. Well, maybe a couple, but
maybe a couple.
maybe, but there's lots of
lots of
artificers.
Dex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, they could have maybe chosen a different word,
Feels-
but
Yeah, feels
it's
unnecessary.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, he says when Peter Parker enters, create a 2/1 green spider creature token with reach, and then pay a generic green, white, blue, transform Peter Parker, activate only as a sorcery. So, I mean, to start, he makes the spider that bit him. He made the spider that bit him.
Maybe
Can
that's where
we-
the scientist part comes in.
Like,
Is it chicken or the chicken or the egg?
yeah, is this chicken or egg? My
Yeah.
goodness. I
Yeah.
mean, I just feel I understand that they're trying to say, hey, the spider needs to be present with him.
Yeah.
But
Also, I know we're not talking about this in this episode. It's not a card that made it in, but the guy in the chair is a 2/2, and Peter Parker is a
it's
0/1.
0/1. Yeah. Just that, yeah.
Just putting that out there.
I'm
Uh,
immediately just seeing oversights, and it's
Yeah.
hard for me to appreciate.
Yeah, absolutely.
So so we cast or we flip him into Amazing Spider-Man. It's a 4/4, it's Vigilance Reach, which I mean we're maybe on curve here, maybe. And
Getting
it's-
closer.
it's better,
Yeah.
right? And then its ability: each legendary spell you cast that's one or more colors has web slinging for a green, a white, and a blue.
So I mean, it brings the web slinging mechanic to other sets rather than just this one. So I
Mhm.
guess that's nice, but I still just really don't like that.
It's still not a great
The
mechanic,
I
right?
I guess the benefit is, now I'm paying 3 to cast a 12 mana spell. Like, I guess that's nice, but
Yeah,
it's so niche.
I mean,
So niche.
mana cheating is mana cheating.
Yes.
And to be able to, like, getting unless it's a massive ETB effect, like
Yeah.
Crater Hoof Behemoth or something like that, where you're bringing it in for 3 off and bouncing a tap creature.
Yeah.
I can see potential for that, but
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you're playing with Spider-Man tribal deck or something like that, it's just not. It doesn't feel like it's there. I'm pretty underwhelmed by this. I feel like they could have done a little bit more.
I'm
with
not
it.
gonna lie, 6 total mana to get out of 4/4 Vigilance Reach. Like you said, it's slightly on curve with the keywords, but I just don't see the value out of this card. I know it's the face card for the set. It's cool art. Don't get me wrong. Ultimately you're getting 2 creatures, both with reach at this point, so you're kind of blocking those flyers a little bit. Your 2/1 spider, which is spider is stronger than Peter Parker. That's another thing I didn't notice.
The spider is stronger than Peter Parker.
So you're getting some value there, but for 6 mana, they
Yeah,
have to bring the web slinging into the set, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's got to be there. I understand they had to make a way for it to work and all
Yeah.
that. It just doesn't. I feel like this could have been done better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Moving on to another Spider-Man. We got Spider Ham. Spider Ham is a Spider Ham Peter Porker.
Peter Porker.
Sorry, just had to finish
Yeah.
his name. Is a 2 CMC, 1 generic, 1 green for a legendary creature, Spider Boar hero.
Boar is an actual. I don't know if scientist is a real thing in Magic.
Boar is a thing.
It is a thing.
It's a thing.
very niche thing.
Very small amount of boars,
But
but they
it's-
do exist.
Yeah, it is there.
When Spider Ham is also 2/2.
Yeah.
Just to get that out of the way. When Spider Ham enters, create a food token. We're gonna pop this up on the screen, but the photo is Spider Ham stealing a hot dog, and I think that's the most ironic thing in the world
It is.
because Spider Ham is eating pig, and that's cannibalism.
Yeah.
Create a food token. Other than that, it says animals mayhem. Animal mayhem. Other spiders, boars, bats, bears, birds, cats, dogs, frogs, jackals, lizards, mice, otters, rabbits, raccoons, rats, squirrels, turtles, and wolves you control get +1/+1. That's 13 creature types, just for those of you who weren't keeping count. Um, 13 different creatures get affected by a Lord effect. So I think this is the widest Lord effect I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It affects 13 tribes, of which I would say maybe
I mean, you got wolves, squirrels, rats,
cats,
cats,
dogs.
dogs. Those are pretty much the 5 most common.
Yeah,
You'll get spiders with this set, of
yeah,
course.
yeah.
The rest of them are kind of a little bit niche. I mean, you got raccoons and frogs and stuff like that from Bloomburrow. Birds are pretty common as well. So
Yeah,
it hits a lot of things.
yeah.
But this card is honestly too much for me to consider real.
Yeah, this is absolutely a meme card.
Oh, totally.
It is just for memes. They basically were like, you know what? You know what will make us money? The people will enjoy Spider Ham. So we'll make Spider Ham and people will buy it.
And people will
And
buy it.
People will buy
And
it.
people will go around saying, "I'm Peter Porker."
Yeah. It's I struggle to get behind this card as a real Magic card.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yep.
It's tough for me.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it does a lot. It's a great Lord effect.
Yeah.
I'll give it that. It's a 2/2 for 2 mana. Great, perfect. You get a food token. Awesome. So it hits all of the right triggers for me, at least, for the cost for what you get for it.
Yeah.
But I just can't take it seriously.
I can't either. And actually, another comment from the sidelines that I think is really valid here. It looks like something that was made in like the custom MTG Reddit,
Oh yeah.
right? Like some
Yeah.
random dude just thought this would be funny and made it,
Yeah.
right? Like
Of all of the we talked about it, but of all of the multiversal Spider-Mans that you could bring in, Peter Porker is probably one that if I were designing cards, I would have left out.
I would have left it out. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. That being said, kind of a half-baked set. They're probably running desperate and just pulled every single one that they could find. So I understand, but also like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm good.
Yeah.
Moving on to one that actually I think is pretty good.
Yeah.
I like this one.
I agree.
Yeah. So it's SP Doctor, piloted by Penny, for 5 CMCs, 3 generic, a white, and a blue for a 4/4 legendary artifact creature spider hero. Again, this time we're hitting the right types
Good
in that
keywords.
bar. It
Good
makes
keywords.
sense.
Yep.
Okay, a 4/4 vigilance, right? I'm already kind of happy when now we're getting closer to being on pace and good to go there.
Absolutely.
When SP Doctor enters, put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature. Decent, works better once you get into the next part. Whenever a modified creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card.
Yeah. So I mean, we've talked about this before on previous beginner sets. Card draw is a very important mechanic.
Yeah.
This gives you that, including buffing your creatures.
Yeah. Yeah.
You mix this with Proliferate, which guess what? It's white and blue. You can do that.
Yeah.
You mix this with any counter token deck of any kind. You're going to get a lot of value out of that, and it's going to be a really great draw engine for you.
I mean, the thing that I also love about this is it's playable outside the Spider-Man set.
Totally.
Right? Modified is something that's been around for a while. It'll continue to be around for a while.
Yeah.
It's a relatively important mechanic now,
Yeah.
right? Because it includes everything from counters to equipment, auras, anything that changes a stat,
Yeah.
really, right? There's a whole list of things that count as modified, right? And on this, it doesn't say whenever one or more modified creature, just whenever a modified creature. So you hit with 3, you're drawing 3. I think this is auto include in any sort of equipment tribal deck or Voltron deck or anything like that. I think she has a lot of value.
Equipment tribal living weapons.
Yeah, living weapons and all that.
That could be really good.
There's there's a lot that I think this works. Really,
Eric,
really
stop
well.
listening. Thank you.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Moving on, guys. Spider-Man 2099. Spider-Man 2099 is a red and a blue for a legendary creature spider-human hero. Back to that same tagline. Love it. It's a 2/3, so 2 mana for a 2/3. I'm never mad about that.
I'm not mad about that at all.
What makes it better is you also have double striking vigilance. But it also says, and this is kind of the drawback, you can't cast Spider-Man 2099 during your first, second, or third turns of the game. So there's a delay. It's 2 mana, but there's a delay.
Yeah.
You can't cast this turn 1 with a good set a ramp on turn 1. It's not possible.
Yeah.
But honestly, at the end of the day, turn 3, 2 mana, double strike, vigilance, 2/3. Not mad.
Thematically, also it fits. So I'm not mad about
Yeah,
this.
yeah, pretty good. At the beginning of your end step, if you've played a land card or cast a spell this turn from anywhere other than your hand, Spider-Man 2099 deals damage equal to his power to any target. I love passive damage.
It's a usable mechanic.
It's
Like-
almost a guaranteed usable mechanic. If
and-
you're not playing a land or playing something on
Yeah.
your turn, you're not
And-
playing Magic anymore.
It has to be from out of like exile or graveyard or something like that. But I mean, red blue can do that.
Yeah, I
Red
mean,
blue can do that. Just on flashback alone, red blue can do that.
this might be an include in Jenna's loop deck
Yeah.
that she plays because
Yeah.
she's always casting things from exile. This is a great
Absolutely.
option for that.
Absolutely.
You turn this into a Voltron commander to a degree with those exile mechanics.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the possibility for this to start doing some serious damage.
The thing that I think is important to note on this is because of the limitation it has of it can't be cast in the first 3 rounds. So you're not playing until turn 4.
Yeah.
Because of that, and also because the secondary ability, I think this is kind of limited to be in the 9/9. This you're not
I
going to play this as a
wouldn't
commander.
use this as a command.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Next up, we have Spectacular Spider-Man.
Spectacular.
I really like this
I
one.
like the art on it. It's cool.
It is cool art as well. I think they did well with this one.
I think honestly, I'll give this set props for that. They've done very well with the art.
Yeah.
A lot of the art is very cool.
Yeah.
Moving on to this card.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Spectacular Spider-Man is 2 CMC, a generic, and a white for a 3/2 with
Mm,
flash. Okay.
love it.
He then has 2 other abilities, and these are kind of crazy. You can pay 1. Spectacular Spider-Man gains fly until the end of turn. Or, well, it's not or. You can do these kind of simultaneously, one time, however you
Yeah.
want. There's no restrictions to it. Second one, pay 1, sacrifice Spectacular Spider-Man. Creatures you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn.
Yeah, that's a 1 mana anti-board wipe.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
For the ability, I
Yeah, yeah,
should clarify. It is 3 mana to put it out and then
Yeah.
cast that. Like, but
But even then, 3 mana to protect your entire board instantly 'cause it's got flash.
Yep.
Right. Like, and I think one of the important things to note here is on the 1 mana ability sacrifice. Sacrificing is a part of casting costs, not resolve, and it's not an additional requirement or
Yeah.
anything like that.
Yeah.
Which means once you cast it, it goes on to sack. Somebody has to have a counter target ability or something like that. They
Yeah.
can't remove Spider-Man before you get a chance to turn it on.
that's
part of
cool.
the casting
Yeah,
cost.
yeah, that's cool.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's I think barring somebody countering it being flashed in or something like that, I think this might actually be really good because of the kind of weird natural evasion that it has.
Yeah. Not to say that that's the only good thing about this card. Giving it flying in a 3/2 is still also a solid creature. For 2 mana, 3 to give it flying, I suppose. 3/2. That's an early game slapper. Like that can do some damage for you early game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it's an emergency blocker or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Like you could, if you had the 4 mana for it, flash it in, pay the 1, put it up, make it a blocker, and then sack.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
Like there's things that you can do with this card. I think it's really solid.
Yeah.
On that front.
Lots of flavor. Very utility.
Very utility.
Very white.
You know what? Actually, especially after that last episode, I
Yeah.
agree. Plays very, very white.
Yeah. And I mean, it's white, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Last part of the Spider-Man specific cards, we'll get into some of the villains shortly here. But we've got the origin of Spider-Man. Now, this is a saga. I love the art. They've done it kind of like a comic book strip. I think it looks really cool. But it's a 3-step saga. Cost a generic and a white to cast it. And then your first stage, which happens as you cast, of course, is create a 2/1 green spider creature token with reach. So very similar to our Peter Parker card.
Notably, he did not make this one.
This one just walked onto the stage.
It just the story started and it was there.
It was there, yes. Stage 2, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. It becomes a legendary spider hero in addition to other types.
Cool.
Thematic, the spider has now bit someone and it is now a Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Great, fantastic. Uh, Step 3, target creature you control gains double strike until the end of turn. Again, kind of thematic. Spider-Man has really fast reflexes. He's able to hit you faster than a normal person. So, it's thematically very cool saga. Art-wise, very cool saga. Strength-wise, I mean, for 2 mana, I'm not mad about it.
I'm not mad about it either. I think the slow progression of it even isn't a detractor here. I
Yeah.
think you still build into something
Yeah.
really effective here.
I think it's a really cool flavor piece for the set, and of all the things we've seen so far, I think this fits the flavor of Spider-Man
Yeah.
better than almost anything else.
The art on, I mean, they did this with all the sagas, but the art as well, where it's kind of the comic book panels and all
Yeah,
that. I think
really
that's-
cool.
Yeah, that's really, really excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Villains.
Yeah.
Starting with my favorite.
Yeah.
Doc Ock has always been my favorite villain.
Really?
Yeah,
It's interesting. to
because
know.
he's a good guy who went insane because of something he built, and I think that's cool.
That is an interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. That is
Yeah.
interesting.
Because like even in the original, like with the, I shouldn't say the originals, but even in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man's, like he's a good guy.
Yeah.
He's trying to do good things.
Yeah.
But then he goes insane because he made AI, and that's where we're heading, everybody.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. We're on our way. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay, we'll go over Doc Ock here. So Doc Ock Evil Inventor is 7 CMC.
He's expensive.
Starting kind of steep here, but
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes. It's 5 generic, a blue and a black for an 8/8.
Kind of validates the cost.
Yeah, we're kind of there.
Yeah.
At the beginning of combat on your turn. Oh, I should back up for a moment. I kind of hate this part, but
Mhm.
it's fine. Everything's fine. Legendary creature, human, scientist, villain.
Huh.
So I'm kind of rapidly developing a hatred for this scientist. This scientist type.
I get it.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Makes more sense than Peter Parker.
It does make more sense to Peter Parker on Doc Ock. It doesn't make sense to make a tribe for them, right? Like,
There's gonna be like 5 cards in this tribe, and unless MTG really focuses on making scientists in future sets, which they're not gonna do.
which,
And
and if they do, they should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Okay, so he reads at the beginning of combat on your turn, turn targets. Turn. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target non-creature artifact you control becomes an 8/8 robot villain artifact creature in addition to its other types.
Hmm.
I think 7 mana is
I'm good.
validated now.
Yeah.
Right?
So I mean, just to play this out, you pay your 7 mana, you get an 8/8. Pretty good, pretty solid. You then go to combat, and all of a sudden you have another 8/8.
Like a Darksteel Forge.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Darksteel Forge is largely a forgotten about card now, and it doesn't really, nobody was really like,
Really, any of the Darksteel cards,
a lot of them, yeah, right?
because all of those have indestructible.
All of them are
Every
indestructible.
single Darksteel
Yeah.
card is indestructible. You put
Yeah.
a bunch of Darksteel in this, and you've got a bunch of indestructible 8/8 robots running around.
Yeah. Or the Soul Stone.
Or the Soul Stone. I'm
Like,
not swinging with the Soul Stone.
yeah, it's got indestructible. I would.
I mean, I guess that's true.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
be like, aha, I now kill you with a Soul Stone.
It's a
Um,
real vision move of you.
It's a real vision move. Yeah, so I think absolutely everything about this card is fantastic, even when we're taking into account the fact that it costs a whole ton.
I also enjoy the art.
Yeah.
Just a crazy green-eyed Dr. Ock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a kind of traditional outfit there, right? The
Yeah.
green and yellow. He's a little bit bigger. And
Yeah.
yeah. I think this is other than the scientist keyword in there, the scientist type,
It's a winning card.
it's a winning card.
Good job.
Yeah.
You got one. Well, maybe two.
There's been a few so
been a
far.
couple.
Yeah, I'm not upset.
Moving on with the Doc Ock theme, we've got Grasping Tentacles. So Grasping Tentacles is a 3 mana, 1 generic, 1 blue, 1 black, so fits the same colors as Doc Ock himself. The art also looks like it's pulled directly from the same image, which is
Yeah,
cool. I
it's
like
cool.
that. For a sorcery. Now, this sorcery says target opponent mills 8 cards. Love the theme of 8. It's Doc Ock.
Yep.
You may put an artifact card from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So not only are you now milling 8 cards because Doc Ock with a cool card that looks like the Doc Ock card, you're also now pulling more artifacts onto your board. Maybe you now have 2 Soul Rings, and you've got 2 Soul Rings that are swinging at your enemies.
Yeah.
Just a really cool thematic card that fits with the card that it is designed to go with.
Yeah.
I love it.
I agree. This feels a lot like from the Final Fantasy set, getting Cloud, giving him the Buster Sword.
Yeah.
That's what this feels like.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Also, I mean, black and blue. Who doesn't like making other people mill?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it just fits. Everything
Yeah.
about this is good.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah. Me too.
Okay, moving on to
Green
Green Goblin.
Yeah.
Nemesis. Green Goblin Nemesis is 2 generic, a black and a red for 4 CMC total. 3/3 legendary creature, goblin, human, villain.
No scientist here.
No scientist here, and actually I really love that set of keywords because it's hyper playable outside of the
Absolutely.
the
Goblins
Spider-Man
and
set.
humans, you now fit into pretty much every tribe ever
Whatever
made.
you want.
Yeah.
You do you
Yeah.
is what that is. It's got flying, which is nice. 4 mana for a 3/3 flyer.
It's also one thing that goblins struggle with, I think, is
Yeah,
flying. So
I agree.
that's a cool add-on.
So Green Goblin Nemesis says whenever you discard a non-land card, put a +1/+1 counter on target goblin you control.
Woof.
Which is really interesting, right? You put them into a regular like goblin tribal deck. It works. Otherwise, that +1/+1 counter is going on to him because, like, maybe there's 1 or 2 other green goblins in the
Mad
set.
about him getting bigger, though.
I mean, I'm not either. It's very clear the way they want this to work inside the set. I'm not sure how it'll work outside the set, but it is playable outside.
Yeah, totally.
And then it also says whenever you discard a land card, create a tapped treasure token. So it's really, again, it's playing off that discard thing.
Yeah, you're
for-
really going for the mayhem
Yeah.
or the connive
Yeah,
on this.
it kind of works with both, right?
Yeah.
And you get extra payoffs for doing it, right? Discard a non-land, get a +1/+1 counter. Discard a land, get a treasure. I think mechanically, especially if there's ways to start forcing the discard,
Mhm.
I think this is a really excellent way to play out Green Goblin.
Yeah, and speaking of forcing the discard, our next card is Pumpkin Bombs. So this is an artifact that fits with the Green Goblin card.
Yeah.
Again, we're kind of similar art forms here, where you've got the same billboard in the background, and now it's just focusing on the bombs being thrown, which is really cool.
I think this is actually one of those mural ones.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it. I think there might be like one other that goes and makes like a 6. It's got to be a Spider-Man or
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. I really love this artwork and how it fits with the card it was made to be. 2 mana, 1 generic, 1 red for the CMC for an artifact card. And this artifact says tap, discard 2 cards, draw 3 cards, then put a fuse counter on this artifact. It deals damage equal to the number of fuse counters on it to target opponent. They gain control of the artifact. So this is a pass around, kind of like a Humble Defector.
Yeah.
But it forces the discard and gives you card draw advantage. The thing that makes this a little bit different than other cards that do that is you're discarding before you draw, whereas a lot of other cards you can draw and then discard afterwards.
Yeah.
But usually that's in white, so this is the black version of that almost, which is
This feels chaotic.
Yeah.
Which I like.
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be chaotic.
Yeah, in red, that's yeah.
It feels like I agree. It's kind of reversing the script. I think it's reversing it from blue, not white.
Blue, yeah.
Right.
Sorry, that's what it is.
And
Yep.
red is very much so kind of the counter to blue.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's flipping the script out of draw then discard and the discard then draw. I mean, but it's always kind of done that. But then the pass it around feels very Green Goblin chaotic.
Yeah.
And then the dealing damage to a target creature and then giving it to them,
Yep.
it's very Burn, which
Yeah.
is such a red focus.
Absolutely. And it's kind of
Yeah.
cool because everyone can get the benefit from it, and then burn someone else. And then all of a sudden it goes away,
Yeah.
right? So it's one of those. Humble Defector is nice because you pass it around and you give it back to people, and you're drawing cards, and it's nice. Whereas this is, I'm gonna hurt you, but now you can hurt someone else,
Yeah.
right? So
And
I love it.
It gets progressively stronger and stronger, right?
Yeah.
So there's this weird. I think it creates this weird political interference at the table where, you might want the card draw, but you don't want the damage. And
Yeah.
you're trying to convince people to not target you, but maybe you're saying, "Oh, actually, I do need to target." Like, it turns into this
Yeah.
really weird
This
political
is a
game.
really fun, weird card. I love it.
I think
Yeah.
this is among one of my favorites in the whole game.
Yeah, and just to kind of pause for a moment, Spider-Man, kind of underwhelming. Villains, knocking it out the park so far.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying them.
Yeah. I guess moving on to the next villain.
Yeah. So we're looking at Venom Deadly Devourer, which I'm so excited for this card.
I like Venom too. I know Doc Ock's my favorite, but Venom's pretty cool.
I think I like the symbiotes in general, kind of the most of everything. I think this is just fantastic. So he's 4 CMC, 2 generic, a black and a green for a 4/4 Vigilance Menace, which a 4/4 Vigilance Menace for 4 CMC is
Good.
just good.
It's just good.
It's just good.
Yeah.
Then he has pay 3 generic, exile target creature
You
from.
need to tell people what he is.
Oh
Legendary
yeah.
creature symbiote villain.
Yep, legendary creature symbiote villain. Notably, not a scientist. It's not really that
At least they
notable.
did-
I just feel like rubbing it in a little bit.
At least they didn't put journalist in
Yeah, or jock,
there. Or jock.
or something like that. My goodness.
Eddie Brock.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was trying to think what creature type Eddie Brock would be.
yeah. You can make them like I mean, if they're making up creature types, athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Depends on which version of
an
Eddie Brock.
ally.
Yeah, maybe an ally. Well, yeah, Eddie Brock might be an ally. He's not really though. He kind of, I don't know. It's complicated. I think. Anywho, we digress. 3 generic, exile target creature from a graveyard, not just your graveyard, a graveyard. When you do, put X +1/+1 counters on target symbiote where X is the exiled card's toughness.
Woof.
Built-in graveyard hate makes you bigger for hating on the graveyard, right? Like there's graveyard hate like Bajuka Bog where it comes in exile target graveyard.
Even with Final Fantasy, there was a bunch of targeted graveyard hate kind of similar to this, but nothing that made your creature bigger.
But yeah, all of it was for the sake of hating on graveyards.
Yeah.
So the whole thing was just a stall tactic. Almost.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is, I'm going to eat the stuff in your graveyard and it's going to make me stronger, which I think is A, on theme.
Yeah.
Right? Thematically, that's incredible. And B, like this should be going in most green black decks just as a stock graveyard hate piece.
Yeah.
I think it just works.
I unfortunately don't think it fits in my Yarok deck, which makes me sad because I would absolutely include it, but I don't think it quite fits. But something like a Goreclaw or a Marin,
this is absolutely going in.
Absolutely needs to
going
go in there.
Yeah. Just the ability to start picking things off other people's graveyards, it's just good.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, with green, it's very likely you have a counter doubler or a damage doubler or something in there that is going to make this just a problem, especially with the Menace and Vigilance. I just a good card.
I think that this actually could even be a commander.
Yeah,
it could be.
Absolutely.
I think so.
And not even like, obviously it's designed to be potentially a Voltron commander.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would even need that necessarily. It's just good.
I would play a 1/1 counter strategy 100% and build a whole bunch of symbiotes into it. In fact, I might do this.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it now and I'm kind of liking the idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll happen.
We can hope it doesn't. Anyway, moving on to the last card, second last card. I apologize. I should say second last card of our set. Another Venom. This time we don't have a cool artifact or sorcery to go with Venom, but we do have another Venom. This is the anti-venom, horrifying healer. It is 5 CMC, and all of it is white mana
Five
pips.
white mana.
5 white mana pips to cast this card. Very expensive. Kind of niche. I mean,
You're playing this in mono white.
yeah,
You're playing this in mono white.
absolutely. For a 5/5 legendary creature symbiote hero. So we've got the hero side of Venom.
Mhm.
Kind of cool to see that.
It's- yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This card reads: when anti-venom enters, if he was cast, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So not graveyard hate, graveyard recursion. Interesting flip from hero to villain or villain to hero. If damage would be dealt to anti-venom, prevent that damage and put that many 1/1 counters on him. Now we've got the flip side of him eating creatures. He's now eating the damage you send at him.
Yeah.
Again, these two cards side by side, just very cool to see hero versus villain for the same character. I think
Yeah.
that's cool.
I think it's really sweet.
Artwork is amazing. Card is amazing. 5 white mana pips is hard to swallow, but just play it in mono white and chew a little bit harder.
Yeah, real. I agree 100%.
Yeah, and I don't know if I would necessarily use this as a commander either.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
I guess if you have to recast him, you're still bringing creatures back from your graveyard, so there is some recast value there. But he's going to get so expensive so quickly, especially for 5 white
Yeah.
pips. I see that being problematic.
I wouldn't mind him in like a blink deck either, because even if you ignore if damage should be dealt and you ignore the counter mechanic on that, right? Like it's kind of nice. You have a free blocker essentially.
Yeah.
Right. But just being able to recur things in white without restrictions like Sun Titan has or anything like that.
Yeah.
Really great.
Really
Really
good.
great.
Yeah.
We'll do
Last
one
card.
last one. Yeah.
And this is kind of the flip side of the chase cards, I would say.
I agree.
I think this is the fan flavor chase card.
Yeah. I mean, it might actually be one. I didn't check. I just saw Soulstone as the chase card.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. It's me, isn't it?
It is you.
Cool. So the last one we'll go over is Cosmic Spider-Man. He is Wooburg to cast.
Wooburg. I like that they're doing another Wooburg commander because they've got one coming out in Avatar.
Yeah.
And this is another one. There's
Yeah.
not been a ton of Wooburg creatures
I
that have
agree.
come out. So it's nice that we're starting to see some more of those come along.
Yeah.
Gives you
And
more options.
I think the idea behind it as well is really great, making these Wooburg ones relatively powerful because of the difficult casting cost. I think it's really good.
Yeah.
So it's Wooburg for a 5/5 legendary creature, spider human hero.
No
Checks out.
scientist.
No scientist on this one. He's just raw power. And I say that because he comes to the keywords flying, first strike, trample, lifelink, haste. He just out of the gate, I mean, 5 mana for 5 keywords. I would take
And
that.
5 power toughness.
Yeah,
Like I would take that on a 1/1.
yeah, I honestly would as well. Like,
Yeah.
he's just coming out. At the beginning of combat on your turn, other spiders you control gain flying, first strike, trample, lifelink, and haste until the end of turn. So, you're only if you're gonna build Spider-Man.
Yeah. If you're building a Spider-Man deck, this is your commander.
This is what you do. This is how you do it.
And it kind of sucks that they've only given you one card to do this with, but this is the card.
This is the thing, right? I mean, you can run it with the face card with the Peter Parker Amazing Spider-Man, but relatively underwhelming, especially compared to this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think this is just raw power put into a card.
Yeah.
Right.
I love the art.
Yeah.
Very cosmic-y.
Very
Slightly less
cosmic-y.
Spider-Man-y, but very cosmic-y.
I feel like this is kind of the speeding train of the set.
Yeah.
Like once it happens, it's coming and it's too fast to stop.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that covers our 14 cards that we've pulled out of this set to talk about. Some of them better than others.
Yeah. I think they did a decent job for being a relatively underwhelming set, doing the mix of flavor and meme cards like Peter Porker and all that kind of stuff. Right.
Yeah.
And functionality, because
Yeah.
some of this is very functional.
Yeah,
It's absolutely playable.
Honestly, some of this is incredibly cool. Starting out reading the script when I first got it, it was, I don't really see anything in here. And then as I've kind of read through it a couple more times, and even today, some of these cards are incredibly playable.
Yeah.
incredibly flavorful, some beautiful artwork.
Great artwork.
Can't really be mad at it for that.
E-
And it is a limited set, so like a small set. It's
Yeah.
not meant to be the most mind-boggling thing that's ever been made.
Yeah.
I wish it was a little bit more mind-boggling, but ultimately,
Yeah, I agree. I think they delivered what they delivered, and if we just take it at face value, it's all right.
Yeah.
It's not amazing,
Yeah.
but it's all right.
I don't think it'll be the worst set of the year.
We did have
We
a-
already had Aether Drift. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it has some real sleeper cards, but Spider-Man is better than Aether Drift. I
Yep.
think absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
But with that, guys, I guess we're there. Remember, keep the deck about you, the game all about the gathering. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.